Good day, everybody, everyone, to whoever is going to watch this. A blessed day to you, brother Christian Tamayo. Thank you, brother, for agreeing to this joint mini webinar to share our revised philosophical paper for us to be able to gain insights into the relatedness of our research similarities that we have. Mm-hmm. Yes, brother. So today I'd like to present my paper, The Phenomenological Deontology, the imperative of feeling in moral experience. This explores how emotion, conscience, and reason work together in moral life, and how feeling, far from being irrational, actually helps us see what is morally true. How about you, brother? Nice, nice. So, without further ado, let me begin. My study begins with a simple but profound question. Can emotions reliably serve as source of moral knowledge, or are they too unstable to ground moral obligation? This question, for a bit background, emerges from the contrast between Max Scheler and Immanuel Kant. Scheler claims that emotions disclose moral values directly. We feel goodness or evil as lived realities. Kant, however, insists that morality must rest purely on reason and universality. So my inquiry asks, this resolves around the question, can emotion and reason coexist in moral life? And so my central claim is yes, emotions are intentional acts that reveal moral value, but they need conscience and reason to interpret and universalize what they disclose. This synthesis is what I call this phenomenological deontology, where emotion reveals, conscience interprets, and reason affirms duty. This, in here, Scheller shows that feeling lets us perceive value, Aldebaran secures that value are objective, Wojtyła links emotion with freedom and responsibility, and then Kant gives duty its universal form. Together, they show that morality is complete when heart and mind work together. The main objection is that emotions are unreliable and culturally shaped. But to answer this, Scheller distinguishes between raw affects and value feelings. Only the latter disclose truth. Conscience and reason then disciplined these feelings, ensuring they lead to responsible, not biased action. And since values like love and justice are objective, they remain constant even when cultures differ. And so, in conclusion, lastly, moral life begins in feeling but matures through conscience and reason. Because duty is not a cold command, it's a felt recognition of value that calls for responsible and universal action. So then, when emotion and reason cooperate, ethics becomes not only rational but fully human. As I'd like to say, feeling is not the weakness of reason, it's where reason begins to see. Yeah, thank you. That's all about my paper. What about you, my brother?
Hi, sir. Good morning. My philosophical question is: are moral values objective realities that exist human opinion and culture, or are they merely human inventions shaped by society? My claim to this part is moral values are objective realities, not human inventions. They exist independently or personal preferences or cultural norms and serve as the foundation for moral life. Principles like justice, dignity, and goodness are universal truths that discovered through human experience, not created by it. For most counterclaim or objection is some philosophers argue that values are not objective truth but rather psychological or cultural constructions. According to this view, that we call values like justice and love are shaped by human needs for belonging, security, and social order. Cultural relativism also shows that moral beliefs vary across societies, suggesting that morality depends on context rather than universal truth. In response to this objection of mine is cultural differences do not prove that values are invented. They show that humans understand values differently across time and cultures. The fact that societies once accepted slavery or inequality does not mean justice or dignity were unreal. It only shows that moral awareness evolves. Universal moral truths like wrongness or of torture or murder remain valid despite cultural differences. Even emotions such as guilt, love, and compassion reveal an inner awareness of moral truth that transcends social conditioning. And to conclude this, values like justice and human dignity are not just social ideas that can change with culture. They are real, enduring the truth. They are real, enduring the truth that guide how we live and treat others. Even if people or societies fail to see them, their existence remain. Recognizing these objective values is essential for living a truly moral and responsible life. Thank you, sir.
So thank you so much, brother. It's so nice to hear how our objection is the same and similar, given how values are said to be culturally shaped. You answered it so profoundly, and well, answer is just a simple that values are objective, and yeah, it's amazing to see this work of ours. And that would be all for this day. Thank you so much for being with us.